Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Aya and today we are going through a meal planner here to show you what I'm gonna do for this week. Today's video is more about how I can give you some advice to save money and not to show you what I cook, but I'm gonna use it as an example to show you what I mean every time and when I give you a specific advice. So most of my breakfast and snack is already in a freezer, is something that I already make. So I do have a video on how to make my breakfast and snacks in the freezer once a month, so I don't have to do this. And here I'm going to show you my list of food that I'm going to be cooking for lunch slash dinner, because whatever we cook for dinner is going to be for lunch for the next day. My first advice is to always meal plan or meal prep and look at what you have already in the pantry, and that's how you're gonna know what you're gonna add to your list. So here I do have a lots of beans right here, so I'm gonna go do refried beans. I'm gonna use these beans that I have already, so it's free. I mean, it's free, it's not free, but it's already there. It's been already purchased in the previous grocery, so I'm gonna use it to make enough maybe for a whole month. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. Here I'm gonna cook some spinach, and the spinach is something that I already have in the freezer as well. So this is important that you look at what you have in the pantry, in the fridge, and in the freezer to see what you have available to create your meal plan or your meal prep. You don't have to meal prep, but you can create a meal plan and then you go shop one time. You don't need to shop too many times. One time, so you can manage the money and the budget, and you know exactly what you're gonna eat for that week or that month, depending on how you shop. Here I do have some pepper. This was included in my shopping, so I did purchase this. Also, something that I like to do is when I create my meal plan, I always use ingredients that could be used in different plates, if that makes sense. So if I buy one pepper, it cost me, let's say, $1. If I buy a bag of 3 pepper, it cost me $2.50. Then I use these peppers in different meals, so I cut them different ways and I cook them different ways and I include them in different kind of meals. I will save more money, but I do not waste anything, because if you buy something and then you're not going to use it, then you're going to waste it, and it doesn't make any sense to save your money. Here I'm cooking my spinach. So the first thing I did is take a little bit of spinach on the side because I'm going to use it for my egg bites. This here, I'm going to drain it and make sure I take only the spinach. I don't need that water, so I'm going to drain the water back to that pot. And to this I'm adding garlic and some spices. This garlic, it's frozen. I have it in my freezer. I do also have a video on how to freeze garlic. So I use a lot of bulk things. If there is something that you use a lot, I will say go ahead and buy in bulk. Try to figure out how you're going to keep it, either freeze it, or if you're a person who like to can food, you can can it, and that will help you also save money. So here to this spinach, I'm adding all my spices, my garlic. I let it just cook a little bit until there is no liquid, and I'm going to set this aside. Here I do have different containers because I'm using those vegetables for different things. So I'm having salad. I'm going to have some sandwiches for this week. So I'm keeping some veggie in the side for that. And this is also a good way to not waste anything, to have everything in front of you and put in separate containers for what you're going to cook. Here I want to show you this book because I got it from Amazon and I like it. I keep adding always my favorite recipes here. And here I'm going to do teriyaki chicken. The thing is, with teriyaki chicken, I do not like to buy my teriyaki sauce because it costs a lot of money, and I could do my teriyaki sauce by myself with ingredients that I have already in the kitchen. So I leave here the ingredient list for you. You just add everything to your saucepan and mix everything before you turn on the heat, and then you just turn on the heat and let it cook. You want to be there when it's cooking, so you want to keep an eye on it because it's gonna thicken. I know you don't want to talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things. When it's cooked, you just turn off the stove, and we're gonna use this on our chicken. Here I have chicken thigh. I'm gonna brush the chicken thigh on both sides and bake it. Also, something else that I like to do is, if I'm gonna make food that is gonna use the oven, I will try to use that oven to make different things. So once I turn on the oven, I will make more than one dish, and that will also help saving on the electricity bills.
Like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now?
To this, I'm adding vegetable mix here that I bought. I'm not sure why the cauliflower look weird in the camera, but they good. And here, before I start roasting my vegetable, I'm gonna prepare the seasoning for it. And this vinaigrette is amazing. You will mix all the ingredient in a separate container, and then you add everything to the vegetable, and you make sure you mix very well because you want it to absorb all the spices. It's very good. Once you try it, you will always use it, trust me.
Tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me?
At this point, the beans are already cooked. As you can see, they're already cooked. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna transfer them to another container. I'm gonna drain it, but I am not gonna throw away the liquids. I'm gonna use it later on because I might need it to add to the fried beans when I start mashing them because it probably is too thick.
Naturally, like it used to be.
So to the same pot, I'm adding some oil, some onion and garlic. Also, the onion and garlic here is frozen. This is something I like to do, like buy in bulk, prep everything, and just keep it in the freezer. And whenever you need it, it's already there. And trust me, it saves a lot in your budget. Here I add the beans, and I'm gonna start using the potato masher to mash it and keep going until it's the consistency that I want. And then here I add all my spices, and if you feel that it's too thick, you will just go ahead and add the liquid that we saved and just add it as you go. And then when you feel like it's good, you can stop.
May I hold you?
Back to the chicken. At this point, the chicken is already done, so I'm just gonna finish adding all the sauce and add it to the oven for 1 more minute just to absorb all the sauce, and that's it. Let it cool and put in a container to put in the fridge after.
Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time.
Same with the vegetable, everything is ready. I'm gonna let it cool. Here I have a turkey breast that I cook separately. I cook it in the water with a little bit of salt and pepper and some bay leaves. That's it. I didn't add too many spices to it because it depends on what I'm going to use it for later on, and I will add the spices as I go. I shred it and put in a container, and this I'm going to use a little bit of this meat for my egg bite. And I'm leaving the ingredient list right here for you.
Naturally, like it used to be.
You always want to add some half and half, some milk or some cream to your eggs to make it, especially when you bake it, to make it creamier, and added all the spices. When you make egg bites, you can add absolutely anything you like and anything you want. So here I use the pepper because I have it, the spinach because I have it, and the turkey because I have it.
Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어.
The rest of the spinach is going to the container because I'm gonna be eating it like that with some rice and chicken, and I like it that way. The vegetable at this point already cooled. I'm trying to clean up the kitchen a little bit so I can finish cooking the rest of the dishes.
기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어. 기대만 하는 것도 난 힘들어.
I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the beans in the Ziploc bags. They're still hot, so I'm not gonna put them in the freezer yet, but I'm just putting them here to let them cool down and clean the instant pot, the kitchen, before I go to the next step. You can also keep the liquid if you prefer. You can put it in a mason jar and keep it in the fridge. Nothing will happen to it, and you can use it if you feel like you need it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prepare some pasta sauce. This recipe is different than American people recipes. It's a Tunisian recipe. So here I have my beef and all the spices that I need. I do have a video on Tunisian pasta recipes, the one that I have online. It's using chicken, but today I'm gonna do it with meatballs. So this is how we do the meatball. We fry the meatball. So we make the meatball and we put them in oil. We do not touch with a spoon or fork or anything. We just add them to the oil, let them fry, and then set aside.
내 마음을 마저 내 가슴을 다 바쳐 사랑하기엔 내 자신
I reduced the oil, but I kept a little bit, some of it. And to that, I'm adding my tomato sauce, tomato paste, and harissa. And the secret for a tomato paste to not taste acid is to fry it in oil. So you want to let it fry a little bit before you go to the next step.
걱정돼 바보 같은
Now once it's fried for a couple minutes, I'm adding my garlic, my salt, and the rest of my spices.
알아 멍청해 상상만으로도 좋은 상상만으로도 힘든
Then I add some water and cover it and let it simmer.
인연을 가지고 있어 사랑이라는 거 oh yeah.
Once it start boiling like this and the oil go to the surface, I'm adding the meatballs to give them a couple more minutes to finish cooking because they were not fully cooked. Here I have salmon, and this is why I like to meal plan, because once you have all the ingredients already available in your pantry, sometimes you have extra money to buy extra things. So here I buy some salmon and I'm gonna use maybe half of it for this week, and the other half is going to the freezer for next week or for the week after to be used for another meal. So this is very important that you meal plan or meal prep, but also very important that you look at what you have first before you meal plan. And if you have a specific budget that you want me to work with, I would be more than happy to make a video using a specific budget to show you what you can come up with. One of the things that I like to do is a meatless meal. It could be 1 or 2 days, is not a problem. And my meatless meal here today, some falafel, and those falafel are amazing. First thing, you want to make sure that you rinse the lentil very good and then you let them soak in water. And here I'm using some potatoes that I have in the freezer, and I already make a video on how to freeze potatoes. And now I have all my ingredients ready. I'm adding everything to the blender. Just blend everything together. The potatoes, I added some salt and pepper, not too many spices because we are going to add the spices here. I'm adding some parsley because I had that already on hand, but you can add parsley or cilantro. This is up to you. Garlic, onion, and spices.
라는 거 oh yeah. Baby can't you come with me.
And here I'm adding half of the lemon juice. Once the mixture is ready, I'm going to transfer it to a bowl and add the flour. You don't want to add too much flour. Follow the recipe, please. I know it feels soft, but that's fine. We're going to add this to the fridge and it will harden a little bit later on. And this is what's going to keep our falafel nice and moist in the inside and crunchy from the outside. So we are going to cover and leave it in the fridge for 1 hour. 1 hour later, it's ready to work with. You can eyeball it if you want. There is no problem with that. I just like to use something to make sure that they all look alike. So here I use 1/4 of a cup to help me measure all the falafel to be all the same way. I recommend that you use gloves, not for sanitary reason, because you can always wash your hands and use that. But I'm talking about the fact that they stick, or you probably want to put some oil in your hands if you want to do it without the gloves. In the meantime, I have my oil here ready to go. You can, and I'm pretty sure that you can air fry them, but believe it or not, I do not have an air fryer. So I am frying them in oil. It tastes very good when you fry them. I have no idea how it's gonna taste if you air fry them, but if anyone here used to air fry falafel, or if you want to try it, let us know in the comment. That will be something good to know. Before you touch your falafel and you turn them over, you want to make sure they're completely set, and you will know this when you see that it start to brown on the sides. Then you can go ahead and flip them over. Now they're completely cooked, so you can take them out and let them sit so all the oil come out. For dinner, we are going to make enchilada. This was my first time doing it, and to be honest, we did not really like it. So I don't know if I did something wrong or it's just we didn't like it for some reason. I don't know. So here I used the red enchilada sauce that I bought. I just followed the recipe and I just added some sauce to the turkey breast. Probably I should have used chicken, maybe. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but please, if you see something that I did wrong, please let me know in the comment. Or if you are a person who doesn't like enchilada, please let me know so I don't feel like I'm the only one who didn't like it. My whole family didn't like it, actually. Even my husband didn't like it. So that was our first and last time doing it.
Baby, can't you come with me? Can't you hold my hand and lead? 근데 있잖아 너라면 다를까 생각이 들어 해볼까 말까 내 다리가 걸어 가는 방향이 어딘지 서로
And here in the side, I cooked some lentil. I just like to eat lentil like this in the salad. It's just something that I cooked in the side. It's cheap. It's not something that's expensive. It's full of iron. It's good. It's healthy. So I just did that.
해볼까 말까 내
Here, what I did, so we have refried beans for the freezer, so we have more than just for a week. Here I have my falafel and my pita bread. I also have all the ingredients that I'm gonna use for the pita. Everything right here is available, so I just have to grab whatever I want to add in my sandwich. I have the lentil, I have a salad. So there's two things that's missing here that I will be cooking the same day that we're gonna use is the pasta for that pasta sauce and the rice for the rice and teriyaki and the spinach. Those are the only thing that I didn't cook that day. The day was done. I was tired and I was like, it's fine. It's something that I can put together very fast the day I need it. Also, the salmon, we prefer to cook it the same day that we're gonna eat it. So this is why it's just seasoned and sits right there.
내 다리가 걸어
And here our egg bites. I hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and see you in the next video.
Baby, can't you come with me? Can't you hold my